Time now for some live Q&A. We will focus on trades here, so use hashtag trade. Daniel, first up, how we save money by trading Dak and Teddy. We get to keep Byron and we get a good backup quarterback. We get all that if we let Dak go. You do not... The amount that will cost Byron Jones, it's going to be like, let's say it's 15 mil. Nice even-ish number, round number. If Dak comes in at 35, you're not getting Teddy for 20. You're probably going to get Teddy at 25. So you're only saving 10, maybe it's 11. Who's your backup quarterback you're getting for the -3 you've already spent? So it does allow you to keep other players. You get picks back, too, for trading away Dak Prescott. But I think that it's a closer difference from Dak Prescott's up here, Teddy Bridgewater and the picks are down here. It's closer, but it is still below it for me in the end. Barrett B, if the Cowboys lose Lee, should we trade for Mack? I assume you mean Khalil Mack. And I'm going to go on my little rant here. So, Barrett B, thank you for watching. You're a loyal watcher. Linebacker is different for the Bears than it is for the Cowboys. If Khalil Mack comes to Dallas, he plays defensive end. He's an edge rusher. That's the role he fits. So losing Sean Lee, signing Khalil Mack, no real connection. By the way, the Bears aren't going to trade Khalil Mack. It costs them more money to trade him than it would be to keep him on the roster. So even if you could get Khalil Mack, you're giving up your first and your second for the next 3 years. You're just not going to be able to pull that one off. All right, Matt S. Trade a second and a fourth for Patrick Peterson. I kind of like this one. I don't know what the Cardinals value Peterson at right now. I don't know. A second and a fourth sounds about right to me. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe it's a little bit less. I don't know. That's close for me. I like the idea. You get a good cornerback. You have to pay him in another year or two. But if I can get my first rounder, I like that one. Jay Vega, first rounder and Dak for the number 1 overall pick, and you nab Joe Burrow. Hey, Harrison, what do you think about that one? He says good luck because the Bengals are not going to try and trade that first round pick. Also, Joe Burrow could be anything, guys. He could even be a franchise quarterback like Dak Prescott. I do like the idea of Joe Burrow. Like, it's fun. He had a great year for LSU. Of the ideas to replace him, like that's like one of your higher ones. I just don't think it's all that realistic. 757 flips. Trade Dak to New England for Gilmore. Sign Teddy, same money, the team better. You get better at corner for sure because you have Stephon Gilmore, who I love, by the way. You're still paying him a pretty good amount of money, but you do get worse at quarterback. And by the way, guys, we just saw a better defense with Stephon Gilmore and a great special teams group lose to Tennessee and Miami in back-to-back years with a worse quarterback than Dak Prescott. Just throwing that one out there. It's a different idea, though. I would love to get Stephon Gilmore on this team. And as you guys know, I'm a big-time Teddy Bridgewater truther, as the producers behind the scenes know. I don't think your chances go up if that's the route you end up going of winning a Super Bowl. Now, if you guys want a video on your trade ideas, spam yes. We will make it for subscribers only for your guys' trades in there. So type Y for yes if that's what you want. And if it is, make sure you're subscribed as well. Hit that big red button. We'll keep talking about trades because people like trades. Trades are fun, even if they're crazy ones like Rohan saying trade for Carzon Wentz. Okay. Is this an Eagles fan here? I see some green in his profile pic. Like, guys, let's in on a secret. Teams that just paid a quarterback typically don't trade them away. So, no, Carzon Wentz not going to happen. Seneca Wheeler, though, with a good one. Is O.J. Howard or Evan Engram available for a trade? I don't think Evan Engram is, but it's the Giants and Jason Garrett likes inline tight ends. That's not really Evan Engram. I would call and see. I think the answer is no, but I'd call and see there. Meanwhile, for O.J. Howard, can I get him for a second? If I can get O.J. Howard for a second-round pick, I'm doing that trade. I think at that point, I am set at tight end for the next couple of years. And frankly, for the next 10 years once I extend him to. I say yes to that one if the Bucs actually want to move him. All right, Chris Vanek with a complicated trade, so let me just go through it all here. How do we feel about moving on from Byron, Crawford, and Quinn, trade Dak to the Chargers, grabbing Chris Jones, Delpit, and Justin Herbert? So you lose Byron, so I'm going to flip out Delpit, and I'm going to put in Christian Fulton, so I got a corner. I love the idea of grabbing Chris Jones. I don't know if you can actually get him. Dak is a downgrade. Herbert is a downgrade from Dak Prescott, but I do get Chris Jones in there. I still lean towards no, but I do think this is one of the more viable situations for me. This is one of the ones where I go, not the route I'd go, but I could talk myself into it, and I could probably get behind it in a relatively short period of time. Speaking of trades, guys, who would you trade for if money were no object? The salary cap doesn't exist. You can just get them. You can trade for them. Who would it be? And this, by the way, there are two right answers here. Producer Brett says Mookie Betts. Wrong. I'll come to Harrison last. Producer Alicia, what's the right answer here? Yeah. I heard someone whispered in the back of the office there. Quiet, Producer Brett. The commenters already have it. There it is. Yeah, you guys get it, right? You either get the great defensive tackle, the best defensive player in Aaron Donald, or the real correct answer, it's Patrick Mahomes. Screw Dak Prescott if I can get Patrick Mahomes, baby. Give me the best quarterback in the NFL. I'll figure out the rest later in terms of my roster. Mahomes is the right answer. Like, that's the one you go get, and then you can cut Dak Prescott for all I care. If I got Mahomes, man, I'm on cloud 9 there. All right, Andy. Oh, okay. Keep Dak, trade Gallup, and Austin for OBJ. Let Jason Witten walk and acquire Dez. It's unique. I don't know if the Browns are going to trade Odell Beckham for Gallup. That is an outside-the-box trade that I'm intrigued by. The problem is that you don't have a tight end still because Dez isn't playing tight end. But I'm going to approach this more as Gallup and Austin for OBJ. You can't trade Tavon. He's a free agent. But Gallup for OBJ is interesting. I'll give you that one. Gallup's pretty cheap. That's valuable with the way this contract situations are going. But I don't know if the Browns do it. All right, Matt S. If we sign Dak and Dallas doesn't value Byron as high, how about we sign and trade Byron Jones? So we didn't mention Byron in our trade ideas, but if you do that, you have to, I don't think the transition tackle flies in that way. So you'd have to get Cooper and Dak signed. Yes, but there is a big but here. For the most part, NFL teams don't like paying top-end money and giving up a premium draft pick. That's not the route that they like to go. And if you lose Byron in free agency, you're going to get a third in the comp pick process. So the minimum becomes a third rounder, and because you're paying so much, I think there would be some limited NFL teams that want to give up a big-time draft pick for a player and throw him $15 million. So I am intrigued by that option, but like you mentioned, Matt, to make these deals happen, got to get Dak's deal signed first. That's all you have to do. Got a deal for you guys as well. Cowboys hats. They are on sale. 40% off. All types of styles and colors and fonts and logos. Everything. All types of brands too. It's at chatsports.com/Cowboys hats. Check the comments. Check the description of this video as well. You can find that link. The supply is getting a little bit lower here. Just so you know. But it's chatsports.com/Cowboys hats up to 40% off. All right, Jonathan Setta, and then Alicia, I want that punter question. Cooper, Brown, and a second for Michael Thomas. Anthony Brown's a free agent. I think that's who you mean, so you can't trade him. I mean, Noah Brown, sure. The Saints love Michael Thomas, and because they just paid him, they're not going to eat a whole bunch of dead money and then pay Amari Cooper. So that trade might work in Madden, but for the NFL, there's no way the Saints are gonna go about that route. That's not a path they're gonna consider. It's a fun hypothetical. Might work better as a fantasy trade, but there's no way the Saints do it. All right, triple X. Should the Cowboys go for Darius Slay? I am intrigued by that one. Now, Slay's not quite the guy he was at his very tippy-top prime, but he's not that expensive. You have to extend him probably too, but despite his comments, I think he'd settle for less than $15 million if he were to be trading it to go to a new spot. So it depends on the price tag, both what they're asking for. Can I get him for a second or third? Big difference there, but one of those two. And then how much does he want an extension? I like Darius Slay. I'm super intrigued by that. That is one that I think does make sense for the Cowboys. But again, it all depends on the cost. And for Detroit, they're trying to win games right now. Don't think trading away Darius Slay really helps that in the end. So I am intrigued by it. Not sure that's the route they're going to end up going. Alicia, I'm not reading this one because Kevin's just being funny. Kevin's just being funny. You're trying to trigger me. I respect it. He's just playing around. Brokov trade a 4th-round draft pick and Chris Jones and next year's 5th to get Johnny Hekker. Give me a sec. I am going to be nice. I almost did a spit take, though, just because I thought about that. Let him in a minute there. I will never invest that much in a punter. He's a punter. Alicia doesn't even think that they're people. Like, I don't... Why would I trade a 4th and a 5th to get a punter? I can find one of those guys as an undrafted free agent. I agree, upgrade a punter. I'm not throwing away a potential starter backup guy for a punter who, if everything goes according to plan, literally never sees the field. Absolutely not. All right, Winston Shan still rocking the Mitchell Renz L photo. Is there a reason to trade up? I don't think we should. If we do, I'm going as high as number 10. The reason you would trade up is if there was a top 3 or top 5 player on your board that slid into that range. Now that's Isaiah Simmons, that's Jeffrey Okudah, maybe but probably not Derek Brown. You can give your 1st and your 2nd to get up into that 7, 8, 9 range. In general, I tend to prefer trading down. I like to have quantity. And I still want some quality. I'm not saying have no 1st-round picks. But if I'm picking at 17, the board might fall the way for me where I can move down to 21 and get a pick as well. That's super interesting to me. Like, I can get an extra 4th or a 3rd. Now I got one more bench guy. And if I'm the Cowboys, I am fully aware, and it's the nature of the NFL, I got to hit on some mid to late round picks. Having more of those increases my odds of doing just that. So I say down in general. Alexander 302, go after Diggs for a 3rd round pick. He did one out mid-season. We did mention a Stephon Diggs trade earlier. I am intrigued by it because Diggs is awesome. I love the player. And his contract is crazy team friendly. You ain't getting Stephon Diggs for a 3rd rounder. You're not getting Stephon Diggs for a 2nd rounder. If you do, I am so in. I'm trading away Amari Cooper, and Diggs is my new number 1 receiver, and I'm using the pick I got for Cooper on defense. That's the route I'm going. That 12 million, that's not going to be top 20 receiver money in a year. Let that sink in. So I love the idea of Stephon Diggs, but it's not going to be for a 3rd. It's not going to be for a 2nd. It'll be expensive because that cap hit is so team friendly. Thomas Lauterbach, go for Jamal Adams, give a 1st and a future 1st. No, because I can't give up 2 1st-round picks and pay a guy. I would be willing to move my 1st-round pick for Jamal Adams and maybe another day 3 pick, like a 4th rounder. I can't give up 2 future 1sts, though. That's too much for me to do, especially because I got to pay him as well. That's too high of a cost for me. I think the Jets, though, Jets say, yeah, so Thomas, I'll give you credit for figuring out a trade that the Jets would actually accept. Today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys120. That URL, it gets you a 120% deposit bonus with that promo code. Guys, you are literally playing with house money. That never happens. So even if you get some picks wrong, you're cooking with gas. You still got a whole bunch of money left over. It's chatsports.com/bet. That promo code Cowboys120. Film Production says JaJuan Williams from the Patriots. Interesting player. I don't think that the Patriots quite know how to use him. Yet he's still a raw player. I got some concerns because the dude got arrested like 3 weeks ago for all types of like drug possession charges and like speeding and all kinds of crazy stuff. So not right now. Frankly, I'm a little concerned he's just going to be Obi Melifonwu 2.0, although not as athletic, which is not good. Jay Vega, trade up to get Derek Brown. I assume you mean the Auburn defensive tackle. I am still on my campaign. Fatties only on the defensive line 2020. Derek Brown fits that mold. That is a big boy who can not only stop the run, but also get some pressure. He's my number one DT this year. Probably going to have a top 10 grade in the end for me. I don't know if I can justify giving up a first and a second for a defensive tackle. If I didn't have needs at safety, at corner, and possibly at edge rusher as well, I would probably change my tune because I love him. But for what the cost would be and the other impact, I don't think it's all that likely. King Rayan, trade Joe Burrow for Dak. I didn't mention this earlier and I should have, and that's my fault. The other issue here is that to trade Dak Prescott, he must sign his franchise tag. And if he doesn't sign his tag, he controls where he goes. He can say no to the Cincinnati Bengals. And if we're being honest here, why would Dak Prescott choose to play for the Bengals instead of the Dallas Cowboys? I have lived in both cities. I know both teams very well. You're picking the Cowboys every single time. So because the Bengals, A, really want Joe Burrow, and B, Dak has control here, don't get your hopes up on that one. Now, if we did not get to your trade ideas, I apologize. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm on there at WhatGoingDowney, as I'm sure you guys know by now. You can tweet them to me or just DM me. I will get back to them at some point today. So hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.